Hello and welcome back to my English Classes Online intermediate level. Today's lesson is all about present perfect tense, and we use that tense to talk about activities that happen for a duration of time before now or during an unspecified amount of time before now. We're going to look at some examples to make sure you really understand, so let's get started. In present perfect tense, we use the words since and for quite a lot. Let's look at the word since first. So here we can see since last year, since last month, since 1998, since 1988, since yesterday, and since March. So since is used for a specific amount of time or a specific period. For example, I have worked as a teacher since 2010. So since 2010 up until that moment, I had been a teacher. Or I have lived in the city since I was born. So since my birth up until that moment, I had lived in that city. When it comes to the word for, we use it to show a duration of time or a specific period. For example, 2 hours, 10 years, 6 months, a long time, or 5 days. Let's have a look at two examples. She has studied English for 2 hours and we have known each other for a long time. Remember, we make our tense using have or has, and we put it with our verb in its past participle form. We can also see another use for present perfect tense by looking at the words just, yet, and already. Now, the word just shows us something that has just happened or just occurred a little while ago. For example, we have just finished our project. So a little while ago, just before we finished the project. When it comes to the word yet, we use it in sentences when the something, the action, has not happened, and it is normally in negative sentences. So, for example, I haven't started my homework yet. I haven't begun, negative. Our last one, already shows us something that has happened a while ago. So Jane has already had her dinner. Sometimes in present perfect tense, the duration won't be clear, but the number of times that we've done something will be. For example, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, several times, or many times. Now here we have 3 examples. I have eaten sushi once, we have been there twice, he has read that book several times. In all 3 of those examples, we can see that throughout the whole period of the person's life, they have done those activities once, twice, or several times. It doesn't say the period of time, it's all about the number of times that we have done the situation. There are some other words that we also use with present perfect tense: never ever, currently, lately, still, recently, so far, up to now, until now, it's the first or second time, and before. I have never eaten at that restaurant. This shows us that it's something that has not been done by the person. Our second example, have you ever visited a museum? This is a question. We're trying to gain some information. So our have or our has would move to the front of the sentence, and they're asking if it's something that has ever been done by you before. Next example, we still haven't done our homework, or I haven't been to Hawaii before, are the same negative sentences, something that has not occurred. And lastly, I have read 5 books so far this year. So here in this sentence, what's important for us to look at is this year. We have been given a duration of time, and it shows us that in that period of time, they have read 5 books. When asking questions, we normally use how. So, for example, how long have you lived in Istanbul? As an answer, I have lived in Istanbul for 3 years, or if I want something shorter, for 3 years. So, now we've seen how present perfect tense works. Let's look at some examples and compare it to the difference between simple past tense. We use simple past tense for things that occurred in the past, and they show us when those things happened. For example, we studied English last night. The studying is in the past, But more importantly, in this sentence, last night shows me that it is a past tense sentence. However, when it comes to present perfect tense, what's more important is not the when, but for how long. So the time. For example, we have studied English for 3 hours. What's important here is the 3 hours. Next example, we ate dinner 2 hours ago. Again, that shows us when the action happened, so it is our simple past tense. But with present perfect, we can see we have already eaten dinner. Here, our time is not specified. We don't know when it happened exactly in the past. When it comes to the word for, we can use that in simple past tense as well as in present perfect tense. And they often give us sentences that sound like they mean the same, but actually have different emphasis. Let's look at an example. Under simple past tense, we have, I walked for an hour yesterday. The activity that I did, walking, has started and finished in the past, which was yesterday. However, when it comes to present perfect, I have the sentence, I have walked for an hour. So here we can see that process or activity of walking could have happened any time up until right now. And that's it for present perfect tense. Now it's time for you to get started on the activities, and I will see you in the next video.